Today is 1075th day that I'm here to lessons I learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about healthy thoughts. Healthy thoughts. We understand that sometimes our thoughts are healthy, sometimes unhealthy, and is it based on is that serving us or not? I think that we don't sometimes question that. Like our thought is coming in and we keep repeating the same thought over and over and over again. We have a pattern of some kind of thoughts. Now we understand that negative thoughts coming automatically, and positive thoughts, healthy thoughts, sometimes need to come manually. You need to choose them because much easier to really have those negative thoughts because a lot of times external world is just bombarding with negativity, bombarding with all the things that is not helping us, not serving us. So being able to have healthy thoughts, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, exactly the same as a healthy body. It's a challenge sometimes. You need to work for it. That's why for healthy mind, you need to work for it as well. You need to have a fitness, you need to have a nutritious things for your mind just to make sure that you have a healthy thoughts. And today I will share like a couple of things, like 10 things about really what are important about healthy thoughts. Number one thing is that thoughts influence emotions. Thoughts influence emotions. A lot of times, so if you want to change emotion, we need to start thinking differently. We need to change our thoughts. That means that thoughts lead to emotions, emotions lead to actions, actions lead to results. So that means that when we look into results, that means when you look into okay, where it starts from thought. So if you want to change your results, we sometimes really need to start thinking differently. So of course, if you said, okay, I want to have this result, so what kind of action do you want it to take? What kind of emotion do you want to feel? And what kind of things, what kind of thoughts do I need to have to be able to really manage that? So that means be able to go backwards and forward. So to be able to think to results and be able to really count it backwards, really make sure that we understand, okay, what kind of result do you want? What kind of actions do you need to take? What kind of emotions do you want to feel? And what kind of thoughts do you want to have to make sure that you get the result that you're looking for? Second thing is that sometimes we have a cognitive distortions, some kind of thoughts, negative thoughts that is coming, and we have that some kind of black and white thinking. We're thinking that this is it and nothing changes. No, like we are thinking that sometimes we have a bad way of thinking, and that bad way of thinking is leading to really bad decisions. I think that we really need to understand that we are false more often than we think. A lot of times we think that we know everything. A lot of times we, after a while you start to, yeah, I start to realize that, yeah, I didn't know that well. I think that a lot of times when we figure out, we sometimes not think that there's a lot of things in our thinking that is still false. And being able to be humble and look for those things that is false and able to really look into what are, because the more I live, when I was a very young boy, I used to think that is black and white. But the more I develop, the more wisdom I gather, the more I understand that it's gray and gray and gray. There's almost nothing is black and white. There is some things, but majority is gray, and that's why we need to understand that. And that means if we want to really think well, we need to understand where if he's thinking black and white, where is that missing part that we can understand? There's other way of thinking. There's other side of the coin that, and when you're able to understand it, we're able to have better thoughts, healthy thoughts, just to make sure that we're able to move it forward. And being able to really recognize some patterns in our thinking and being able to break those patterns and bring some new patterns, better patterns, is important. Number three is mindfulness and awareness. In thought management, in healthy thoughts, mindfulness and awareness is the key. If you do not know what are the good, healthy thoughts and what are negative thoughts, it's very hard to change that. I think that we need to understand what kind of thoughts do we say about ourselves, what we thoughts about say about other people, what thoughts we say about the most important people. And you do really earlier sometimes say, I have a thought, okay, is this positive, neutral, or negative? And being able to understand that and start to really see the pattern where those thoughts are, what kind of thoughts are, because if we want to change some thoughts, we need to be able to be, number one, mindful, present. Because a lot of times we're thinking about the past, we think about the future. I think when we're able to really say like how we could think about today, about present moment, because when we think about present, our thoughts a lot of times becomes much, much, much more clear. Because our thoughts gets very, very distorted when we add past and the future in the mix of the present. But when you think about the past, we think about the past. When you think about the present, we think about the present. When you think about the future, we think about the future. But when you start mixing them together, that's kind of where it becomes hard. Now, of course, I understand that. Think about the future. Okay, what kind of future you want to have? And then you ask, what do you need to do today to achieve that? But again, it's you are jumping back and forth. And healthy thoughts are when you're able to really do that mindfulness and awareness of, and being able to separate what kind of things you're thinking right now. Number four is challenging negative thoughts. That is a beautiful thing. So if you want to have a healthy thoughts, you need to start challenging your negative beliefs, negative thoughts. That when you have a thought, you say, okay, where that thought came from? Do you have proof for that? How I could validate it? And if you say, I don't have any proof, I'm not able to validate that kind of thought. I mean, maybe this thought is not as right as you thought. And then if you able to understand that this thought came in your mind without any proof, we need to get rid of it. We need to be scientists of our own thoughts. We need to really have hypothesis, test the hypothesis, and if it's false, really say this is not true. This is not who I am, or this is not, or if it's true, maybe say what do I need to change that? What do I need to do to make it different? Because a lot of things have we able to change up ourselves. So that means that we have awareness where we are and where we want to be, and then okay, there's a gap, and okay, how I could make that gap smaller or remove it altogether. And when you know that, of course, we're able to work towards that. And that's number five, self-compassion is the key. So that means when you understand where you are, when you're able to understand your negative thoughts, you understand your patterns, it will not be able to switch and say, now I have a positive thoughts, healthy thoughts altogether. No, that's will be a journey, and that's me understand that we'll make a lot of mistakes, and we need to have compassion towards ourselves, because when you have compassion, you're able to literally celebrate those small achievements, small progress, small milestones to keep moving forward. Number six is growth mindset is a key. Again, there's a compassion and growth mindset always works together. That means when you understand that where you are at the moment and where you want to be, there will be a growth necessary to achieve that. And we have that growth mindset, being able to really engage in developing yourself, improving yourself, moving forward, and having better and better thoughts. Maybe you have 90% of your thoughts on a daily basis negative. Now, in a week, you have 98%. Maybe in 2 weeks, you have 95%. Now, in a month, you have 90% negative thoughts and 10% positive thoughts. And then maybe in 6 months, you have 50-50. That's just a growth mindset, because you are growing, you're developing, you engaging in a way of changing yourself and changing your patterns. Because it says that 80-90% of our thoughts every single day is repeated from yesterday. So is that true? That means we're able to, those 80-90%, we need to change from negative to positive ones. And it will take some time, 100%. Number seven is limit exposure to negativity. That is the key. A lot of times it's very, very hard to change our patterns, because we're still engaging in the same environment. We're engaging in the same negativity. And for example, I truly believe that one of the best things not to do is not to watch news. News always about flashy negative things, always about negative flashy things. They don't speak about positivity. So it's very distorted, because 99% of what they share is negativity. So that means we always need to look for positivity. But if you look into news where 99% is negativity, how hard it becomes to really work on positivity, on building that thought pattern where it's always positive. And we always able to really reflect and say like, where my negative thoughts are coming from. And sometimes it's subconscious. That's why news is very, very dangerous. So sometimes you don't feel it. And it seems that it doesn't impact you, but it's impact 100%. 100%. Look into most successful people, what they say about news. They always say, don't watch the news. Unless, of course, it's related to work. But other than that, news is not worth it. Not worth it your healthy thoughts. Not worth it those negative patterns that comes into your mind. And there's a lot of other things potentially could be impacting your negative thoughts or positive thoughts and healthy thoughts. And we need to remove them, those negativity, that toxic environment, just to make sure we have healthy thoughts. Number 8 is practice gratitude. This is one of the most important things. I truly believe that practice gratitude is one of the most important and most powerful tools that you can use in life, in anything in life. It really changed my life when I started to implement it. And I think that every single person could able to implement, because it changes attitude, it changes vibrations. I believe in vibrations, that the higher vibration they have, the higher and the better things you attract. It could potentially change your life in 2 months, 3 months, when you actually implement attitude every single day. It happened for me, and I hope that it will happen for you when you actually every single day are very, very grateful for the things that you have. So practice gratitude is the key to really having those positive thoughts, because when you are grateful for all the things and you mention all the things that you're grateful for, that means those are positive thoughts. So that means that you have negative thoughts, and all the gratefulness is other part. So that means you're able to make sure that positivity, that gratitude overruns that negativity, and of course you are becoming much more positive. Number 9 is seek support. Seek support. It means that we're able to ask perspective of mentors, coaches, teachers, friends, family. And of course, I understand that sometimes could be that our family is that toxic environment and we need to walk away from it. But sometimes we're able to say, like, we're able to choose family. We have a ability to choose family, friends, co-workers. Like, who are those people who are bringing joy, bringing gratitude, gratefulness, appreciation? Who are those people that you're really able to reach out, get perspective, get input of energy? And of course, that is very, very important. Number 10 is developing coping strategies. That means when you start feeling that you are not feeling well, you're feeling down for yourself, your negative thoughts is just going over and over and over again, what you're supposed to do to really being able to cope with those thoughts? What are the activities? What are the things that really allows you to break that cycle of negative thoughts? Because sometimes it's very hard to, when you are in a cycle, it just sometimes it's very, very hard to break it, because we get sometimes thinking that we have those thoughts, and then we get sad we have those thoughts, and then we just becomes a massive cycle. And what kind of activities, people, or what kind of things really allows you to break out and really start bringing those positive thoughts? Because every single person has that. For me, it's going to nature, going to exercise, going to gym, reading a book. All those things really allows me to really start bringing different thoughts. And book is one of the best things, because you change those negative thoughts to something positive that is written on a book. And again, now of course, we need to understand that we need to start reading books that we actually enjoy, that we passionate about. And those books will allow to get out and break free from all those things. Number 11 is physical health matters. Now, a lot of times when we have those negative thoughts, a lot of times is that because we just don't have energy. We don't have energy because our bodies are not taken care of. It's very, very hard to have healthy thoughts with an unhealthy body. It's very, very hard to have healthy thoughts with an unhealthy body. So if you have unhealthy thoughts, that means that the first thing we need to assess is, how is your body doing? How is your energy levels? Because if your energy levels is very, very low, that's probably the first thing that you can do is fix your body, fix your health. What you're able to do, and ask, what I'm able to do: eat healthier, exercise, sleep better, manage your stress, do meditation, be more present. And when you take care of your body, it's much, much easier to have healthy thoughts when you have the energy to do the things that you love to do, and when you're able to pursue your passions, when you're able to pursue your obsessions. At that moment, it's much, much easier to do that. And last thing before I go is that growth takes time. Growth takes time. You're not able, some things that you're able to make immediately, make decision you're able to make immediately, but to change those patterns that you've been around for a long time. It depends how old are you and how long you have those negative thoughts. Will take some time. Some people takes a month, some people take 3 months, some people take 6 months, because there's so many complex things. But it doesn't matter how long it takes, but it really is worth it to change the pattern of negative thoughts to positive thoughts. So I hope that you have reflected, well, how often do you think negative thoughts? How often do you think healthy thoughts? And what you will do to make that transition to make sure that you have even more healthy thoughts. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.